Okay, so today I want to talk about being prepared. And this is most of what I'm coming up with here is from kind of the books I read or podcasts I listen to and what they've taught me about the coming events and the cyclical nature of the world. I think we all need to focus on being prepared for anything that may happen in life. The idea of just letting things happen to me and just letting life kind of do things to me and not trying to be prepared and not trying to think of what might happen in the future is ugly to me. Like I don't want things to happen to me. I want to understand everything going on around me so I can anticipate what may happen. I think people don't ever expect the worst to happen to them. I think in their heads, subconsciously, they're always like, oh, that'll never happen to me, or that'll never happen to my town, or my family, or my city, or my country. It's never going to happen to them. So they're always shocked by bad things happening. Like, I don't think any of us were prepared for something like the pandemic to happen. So we were all surprised when we were all locked up. We weren't prepared for that. And everybody was caught off guard by that. There was a very, very few people who were actually prepared for that and kind of knew the truth behind it. Same thing happened in 2008 with the housing crisis, at least in America. I'm in Canada, and I was also 5, so I didn't really understand what was happening at the time. But in the States, everybody was slammed by that, and they weren't prepared. So I think understanding that the ebbs and flows of life and the cycles that happen in societies is a very, very important skill and knowledge to have. If you can understand patterns, you'll be able to apply that to almost everything in your life. Something very important to focus on are the rise and fall of nations and countries. So when we think of the United States today, it's more or less the greatest country to ever exist from an opportunity perspective. And that kind of goes for the whole West in general, including countries like Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom, countries of that nature, and capitalist countries. But with all things, they rise and fall. And if you kind of look at the West today, it's kind of bleak. Like, there are still enormous amounts of opportunities at our fingertips. But if you think of our society and the way we interact with each other, it's quite sad. The amount of conflict going on between the different demographics of people, the different ideologies of people, and the different values people have. And I think we all know what I'm referring to. Or you can come up with your own ideas of what I may be referring to. When it comes to us living in the West, I believe we are running out of time, honestly. From a becoming successful standpoint. And of course that comes down to what you value as being successful, and what I mean would be successful to me means freedom. So being able to go where I want, say what I want, do what I want, whenever I want, wherever I want to do it. within morally good values, of course. I'm not suggesting freedom means being allowed to do illegal things. So what I mean by we're running out of time is the gap between the haves and the have-nots is growing exponentially and very quickly. And you can see that from things like cost of living, the amount of debt people have, the amount of income people are making on average. And it becomes quite clear that the gap is growing. So I think being able to understand the patterns of this world is a very, very valuable skill to have. Of course, that's going to take a lot of research, but invaluable knowledge, in my opinion. I am still in the first steps of gaining this knowledge, but I wanted to share this understanding that I have come to from the content that I've been consuming and the information that I've been attaining. So if I could recommend one thing, is this book. Just started reading it, and it's really opening my eyes to a lot about the way the world works, and not just today, throughout history. I want to reiterate that really think to yourself and ask yourself this question: do you want to let things happen to you, or do you want to be able to anticipate things? So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I wish you nothing but love and blessings. So please go like, subscribe, and throw a comment down below on what you think.